Good evening. Some more breaking news for you. We are just hearing that a search is underway for a 10-year-old girl who has gone missing from O'Sullivan's Fun Fair in the city centre of Belfast. It is believed she went missing last night. Hundreds have taken to the streets of the city centre to search for the young girl. However, there has been no sighting of the child so far. More is to follow on this story as the search continues, but police are saying they are hopeful in finding the 10-year-old girl.
Hello, Robert. It's been a while. Can I get you anything? Glass of water? Coffee? A cigarette, maybe? I hear you've been making something of a reputation in here for yourself. Nice to know that some things never change. I'm not a man normally lost for words, Robert. I'm an analyst by nature. I seek the reasons why. I seek answers for the obstacles in life. But this time, I find it difficult to conjure up any sense of hope or even assurance. Instead, I find myself lost in doubt. I'm lost in the translation of where it all went wrong. All throughout my career, Robert, I have always believed that even in the darkest of days, there lies a shimmer of light, of hope. In the same way that a single flame carries with it a shadow of darkness, so a sense of balance, if you will. The belief that stability will be restored and that justice will prevail. That has been my life and my work, Robert. But this case, to think that I was hopeful, that we had a chance. But I was foolish. I was naive to think that even such an outcome could be possible. And as the months wore on, as we dug deeper down that rabbit hole, I could feel the change happening. I felt cold, I felt haunted, as if a veil of darkness had descended over the case. And the unforeseen events that arose that contorted this case in so many ways I can't even begin to explain now. The revelation of evidence cut across this case like shattered glass, impaling the skin every time we uncovered new evidence. But instead of revealing it, deepened the cut of uncertainty. Ever since we found the body, Lila's body, I found myself growing more determined, more focused, promising myself I would find the son of a bitch who did this and make him pay. The truth is, I was blinded by my own determination and by my own ignorance. When all the time my attention should have been elsewhere. On you, Gallagher.
90 seconds.
Excuse me?
90 seconds is the time it takes to take a child. A second of glancing away and a lifetime of consequences. Like a knife in plain sight. Did you know that on average 140,000 children are reported missing every year in the UK? And 800,000 in the US. Staggering numbers to comprehend.
Not all of those cases can be dealt with, Robert. You know we have finite resources and that certain things must...
Some are given more priority over others.
Don't you play that card with me. You know Lila's case was always our number one priority.
Was it though? Since I have been in here, I have had time to reflect. Time to ponder about the time wasted on Lila's case. Areas that are open and are still yet unexplored.
I didn't come here to explain myself to you, Robert.
Why are you here, O'Connor?
Okay. I want to know.
You want to know what happened?
I want to know why you did it.
Natural instinct.
Bullshit. You knew your motives, you knew your intent. I told you not to interfere with the police investigation, that we were handling it.
The word handling is irrelevant in your book, O'Connor. You had the evidence and the killer in plain sight. Yet you state ignorance prevailed, or so I'm told.
And what's that supposed to mean? You know what, Robert? For the past year, you've been a pain in my ass. I tried to reason with you. I tried to explain the difficulty of the situation, but you didn't want to know then, and you don't want to know now. So here it is. The actions you took had nothing to do with justice. And no matter how hard you tried to justify those actions, you, of all people, Robert, you do not trapeze upon the line of good and evil.
Do not lecture me about good and evil. Don't differentiate between the two. Good and evil balance on a fine line. And more than often, evil seeps into good, tainting it, choking its roots.
And you stand a prime example of it, Robert. Tell me, what differentiates between you and the scum out there?
Careful now, O'Connor.
Why? Is it because you don't like what you're hearing? Is it because deep down you know the truth of your own actions? I think deep down you know what you did was wrong. And that you can't bear to live with the fact that two wrongs never make a right. And that you tried to make up for past mistakes for allowing your daughter to be taken from your care.
Don't you dare sit there and act like you are above me! You talk about this veil of darkness, this burden! You have no idea what darkness is, or what real pain is. To have your daughter snatched from your side! I carry the burden every day. And I failed her as a man. I failed her as a father! I am no saint, O'Connor. I never claimed to be. But killing the man who raped and murdered my daughter, that is something I will never apologize for. I do not ask for forgiveness from you, nor do I ask for forgiveness from the law. But when I find out that the man who lived across from me was a known predator, I came to you, and I told you, and you didn't want to know, and you still don't want to know! So I had to take matters into my own hands. I made it my moral responsibility to hunt that bastard the way he hunted my Leela. And when my opportunity arose, when the stars aligned, I smashed his fucking head in. You talk about justice, O'Connor. Yet here we are 1 year on, and darkness still remains, and justice does not prevail. I want justice for my Leela. Now, you may not agree with my form of justice, but it's justice still the same. An eye for an eye, O'Connor. I'm paying for my sins. What's this?
Read it. Raymond Brown, the man you claimed kidnapped your daughter. After your little crusade for justice, we had forensic search Mr. Brown's home. We took Mr. Brown's DNA and fingerprints to match against samples and marks taken from Lila's body. They did not match. Congratulations, Mr. Gallagher. You murdered an innocent man. This is why I came here today. This is the last time I'll be seeing you, Mr. Gallagher. My time here has ended. Another body will oversee the case now. You speak of me not understanding true pain. You're wrong, Mr. Gallagher. I know that pain only too well, and the burden of guilt perching on your shoulders. Because I too lost a son. That's the main reason why I took this case. Because I understand that pain and suffering only too well. But I didn't allow my emotions become my actions, Mr. Gallagher. Because I knew that if I did, if I became woven into your blackness, then there would be no return, no light at the end of the tunnel. Only the pain of your child screaming for justice. I truly hope that one day your family will get justice, Robert, so that your family may find peace. that young Lila may find peace. You're not the bad guy. You're just a man who's lost more than he ever should have.